Coming up on this episode of Tom Talks Rubbish.
I feel like the energy I just give off is just
Yeah.
positive, and I try just to make sure that people know that or any wrestler coming up that's I'm gonna do an interview with, I'm on their side. I want them to win. I win by helping, but like I want them to win. I want them to fulfill their career goals because they're in there doing the work, taking the bumps, getting hurt, getting paid $20, having to eat at Waffle House. Like they're doing the hard work. So I want to make sure that they know I'm on their side when I do these interviews. I'm not doing anything malicious. I don't want to ask them any kind of question that's going to get them in trouble. That's never my goal. It's never my intention. I just
Never
want people to
mind.
know that, like, I just want them to succeed in the business because, I mean, yes, I do benefit from that, but I like seeing people win. So I want everybody to just eat. So I hope my legacy is just people knowing that if they do an interview with me, it will help them even in the slightest. It like just make them look like a good person.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Tom Travis, and stand back with another interview. This time, I'm joined by how he doesn't have a sponsor for this yet. I don't know. I'm joined by the man who wants to know your Waffle House order, the man that can power lift a Waffle House, the man that got Biggie to pop and break character as we record this. I'm joined by someone who is on my Mount Rushmore of interviewers, but I'm joined by the one and only Muscle Man Malcolm. So welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up, dude? Long time no see. How are you?
I'm really excited to have you back on, my friend. Like, for people that may
Yeah.
not know, Malcolm is one of my favorite people to podcast with because I always learn something, as weird as that sounds.
I appreciate you, Tom. Man, I always like doing these. So like whenever you want to do it, I'm always available.
So, if we take this back before we get into any of your amazing work, for the good people that may not know, where do you first discover wrestling, man, as an overall fan?
For sure. I started watching wrestling in like 2008. I believe it was like the first match I think I like watched was like Night of Champions, ironically, because that's this weekend. It was Triple H and John Cena for the WWE Championship. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just saw two dudes that are built like gorillas and towers of man meat, and I was like, I like watching this. I'm gonna keep watching this. So I kept watching it, and now I'm here.
Was this after? Because I have sort of hazy memories of this time because my dad was watching. Was
Yeah.
this after Batista got attacked by Legacy because he had a torn triceps?
I want
And
to say yes. I didn't like watch anything before it, and I still haven't. So like I think so, but like I'm actually not true like too sure. I don't really go back and watch a lot of old wrestling. I kind of just watch now and forward, because I feel like watching stuff before my time. I'm like I already know what happens. Like why would I want to watch this?
I understand what you're saying completely there, man. So when you discover wrestling, Malcolm, is it the sort of thing where you're like, I'm here for this. This is my life now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I found it. I'm like, it's something I'm into. It combines everything I'm interested in, as far as like the goofiness of pro wrestling that you see in like Nickelodeon and Disney shows. Because I was a kid when I started watching it, and the athletic side of it because I really like boxing and UFC, so it kind of has that fighting aspect to it. So it kind of just combines everything I'm interested in into one big package, and that's pro wrestling. And I mean, it's done a lot for me, and it's done a lot for a lot of people, honestly. So it's great.
Mm. You talk about it doing a lot for you there. We'll get into some of your work in a minute. But
Sure.
what has been sort of your proudest achievement since you started your channel, Malcolm?
Mm, uh, Hmm. There's a, I wouldn't say there's a lot. It's just like I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably say like the Rock video asking him his Waffle House order. I thought that
Oh yeah.
was like I don't know if the word is proud. I think it's just like it was just a fun moment to experience. Like just be able to act like internet had their own opinion on it because Waffle House's questions is a little silly. But like just be able to sit there within like that moment of time and know that this is like the biggest moment in wrestling the last odd years, and I'm gonna ask The Rock about Waffle House is hilarious. In my opinion, it depends who you ask. But
Mm.
that moment was just fun, just being in the same room as Rock and him just like bantering with the question as well. I thought it was just a fun time. So I'll say that for sure.
How did that question actually no, we'll do it sort of chronologically. No, we will. Because how did that sort of question come about, man? Of like, Waffle
Yeah.
House becoming your thing, for lack of a better word?
For sure. So at the time, I was filming a documentary on Lance on Hawaii, who's now signed with NXT. And
Mm,
after all the independent shows we'd go to together, we'd always stop at Waffle House afterwards,
mm,
especially the one out in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Shout out Allentown. So because I was doing that at the time, and then I think it was also like mid, epicness of the bloodline, and Sami Zayn's talking to Jey Uso about Waffle House as well. When I had the chance to interview Jay, this is like a week or two after he won the Intercontinental Championship. It's actually the same day as Bad Blood. It was at a Cricket Wireless event, a
mm.
few hours before the pay-per-view or PLE. Um, I just thought it'd be a fun thing to ask because I'm like, he talks about it. I already know, the culture of it. The dynasty, Samoan dynasty loves going to Waffle House because like just going there myself and experiencing, I think it's just fun. And I thought it should be a fun question, and it worked out. And he popped for it, and I just started asking other wrestlers because I was like, well, it's not like Waffle House is only for the bloodline. I mean, it's for all the wrestlers. They all go
Yeah.
there, most of them at least. And yeah, I just kept asking it from there. It started to catch a little wind. It's still catching on a little bit, highs and lows, but I think right now we're still in peak Waffle House question era. Like I think I could still keep asking it for like another few more months before it's time to maybe dip away from it and then maybe come back. Who knows? Who knows?
You talk about their dipping away from it. Will
Yeah.
you know when it's time to sort of go, yeah, this has played out now. We don't need to do this anymore.
For sure. I have moments where I feel like it is, and then it'll catch wind again. I thought it was maybe like a month ago, and then like it was a month ago or 2 months ago, and then the whole like Tony Storm stuff really picked it back up and kind of launched it back up into the not stratosphere, but just the views of it just kept going up from there. So I think right now it's still going well. I think there's a few people I could still ask it, and I think I get some good answers out of. I still have some few interviews that will go up. I feel like have some good answers with it. And I think before 2025 ends, I think I'll stop the question just because like I don't want to kill it too hard. But right now it's still going well. I think I'm so attached to that at the moment that
You're the Waffle House guy now.
yeah, like I like dipping away from it right now or dipping away from it right now would just be a little weird. So it will go eventually, but right now it's still going strong. So soon, maybe like fall or something.
What is, I know you had some fun with this with a good friend
Yeah,
of mine, Daniel Menner, when he was on his show recently. What
yeah.
is your Waffle House order though, Malcolm?
Oh, if you just look at the right side of the menu, I'm probably going to order three of everything. Give me all of it, everything. Dip it in Waffle House sauce. Not even dip it, drown it in Waffle House sauce, and I will drink it with a straw, full gallon, sipping on it with a straw, a bendy straw, if you will.
That's awesome, man. You talked about going to Waffle House and making a documentary with Lance
Yeah,
Anawahi. As I understand from research, he was your first sort of big interview, if that makes
this is my
sense.
first ever interview, just in general. Yeah.
That was at an independent show, right?
Yeah, yeah, out in Maryland. I was 17 at the time. Yeah, I mean, Lance has always been someone that's I've always been connected with as far as like this whole YouTube and wrestling and whatnot, because the first ever independent show I ever went to, I was 13 years old. I was living in DC at the time. I drove up to somewhere in New Jersey, and Lance was wrestling on a show, and I didn't know that there was like a Samoan dynasty. I just knew who like the Usos were because that's the only people I watched on television. I knew somehow they were related to The Rock, but I didn't know too much about it. But I saw Lance walk by when I got to the indie show. I was like, is that because he had one of the Uso shirts on too? And I was like, that's not one of the Usos, is it? Because he looks like him, but he doesn't look like them. So I'm like,
Mm.
is that the same? Is he related? I wasn't sure. So I had my aunt go talk to him because I was just like too nervous to. And ever since then, I mean, we always stayed like pretty well connected. Seeing what Lance is doing now, getting to the WWE and getting signed. I'm just happy for the guy. Can't wait to see him debut on television, hopefully soon. Yeah, the guy is just awesome. Dude's great.
You talk about your aunt having to almost get your first big interview for you there in your first sort of
Yeah.
wrestling relationship. But you're so confident now, man. And like I've seen you'll go up to anyone and like the example I'll give is a video that dropped on your channel this week was asking Big E his Waffle House order and things
Yeah.
like that. So where did that confidence sort of kick in, my friend?
I think it just builds over time. I think like especially in the wrestling scene, as such a big fan of wrestling, you and I both are. Sometimes like meeting these wrestlers, the people you watch on television every week, it can be like a little intimidating. But because I've done so many interviews over the time, not saying that my interviews are like the best in the world or like the number one or
They're up
anything.
there.
But I mean, I'll take it. I'll take the compliment. I ain't gonna stop the compliment. But doing so many and just having to approach all these wrestlers if it's through social media or in person, preferably try to do more in person now. I'm trying my best to make sure most of them are in person. It kind of you just have to build confidence in that aspect. Luckily, some of these wrestlers also just know who I am now because of all the videos, because of the Waffle House question. Or just because other wrestlers they've seen their colleagues do interviews with me. So they have like a point of reference at minimum. So I think the confidence comes with the repetition. I think that kind of comes with a lot of stuff. If you want to get good at something, confident in general, gotta have a lot of repetitions of what you're doing. It's like what was it like Kobe Bryant would take like 100 shots before he like any practice or something like that.
Something like that.
You gotta
Before
you
the
gotta do the
game, I
reps.
believe.
Yeah, like that for sure. You gotta do the reps. I think with the reps comes confidence because you know what you're going to do and what you're going to ask. For the most part, should be something that will be newsworthy or just entertaining for whoever's watching. Because that's at the end of the day, I like seeing like my stuff get put on Fightful and Wrestling News Co. and whatever fill in the blank wrestling website because they're all cool. But like my goal is really just whoever's watching the clips, watching the full interview. I just want you to be entertained, want you to smile a little bit. If I can make the wrestler laugh, that's always the goal. It's really more about trying to get the fans just be entertained, and with all that comes with like a sense of confidence. Or if you're not confident, you got to force the confidence, and then it'll come.
Fake it till you make it almost.
Yes, sir. I love that.
So you talked about there, my friend, your confidence growing and things like that. Who
Yeah.
was the wrestler? And you talked about asking wrestlers their Waffle House question and things like that. Who was the wrestler that you were like, they'll either have fun with this or I'm gonna die, if you know what I mean?
Facts. Hmm. I don't think I've ever been like nervous to ask anyone their Waffle House order. I guess I mean The Rock. I mean I keep going back to that one, but like asking him that after Cena just turned heel
Mm.
could have gone really bad. It didn't, but it could have gone like really bad. So thankfully he like met the joke with the same energy and was able to banter with that. So I'm gonna have to say Rock again. I don't think any other person. I think I've been like worried if they would like lean either way about it because at the end of the day I don't care if you like it or don't like it. I just want to have a good time and get a fun answer. Um, yeah, so probably Rock just because like in the moment, which after Cena turns heel, the biggest heel turn probably since like Hogan or whatever, it's a very off topic kind of question.
How do you sort of approach? What is your sort of reaction or retort to the people that say, dude, you're at a professional press conference. Why are you asking that question?
Uh, my response to that is. Well, you remember the question, didn't you? Because you're talking to me about it. I mean, the goal is obviously to make content that's going to get views. I mean, like to say it's like not there's not a not selfish reason, but a reason that also benefits myself would be just a lie. Honestly, I mean, like, it's always like to make content that's going to get pushed out there for the world to see. Um, it it's just in my nature. I mean, I've gone to school for this. I feel like a lot of people they don't realize that like I do take this stuff seriously. I just do it in a way that you don't realize that I'm being serious. Yes, the Waffle House question is very silly. It's maybe in the timing of asking in a press conference, it's like a strange time to pick. But it works and it worked out. So my response is really just if you don't like it, I get it. And if you do like it, I get it. So whichever way you want to lean, I understand. I'm not here to make you like me or to make you hate me. If you choose to do either, that is your choice. I'm just here to put out what I feel like people will want to watch.
Oh, that's really, really cool, my friend. That sounded really condescending and not what I mean at all. But like that's is really, really cool. What did it mean to you to get mentioned by Big E though with the Waffle House question? You got mentioned by Big E on, I believe it was a pre-show when he
Yeah,
first
post show.
when he
Yeah, it
first.
was a post show in Vegas. Yeah. It really just shocked me. I mean, it was like funny because he said it in a very sarcastic way. He's like, we heard a lot of good questions done about Waffle House. I just thought it was funny. I mean, I think Big E's a hilarious character of a wrestler. He seems like a great human being in general. All the stuff he's doing, like in his WWE career now, post like not being in the ring right now. I don't know if he ever gets back in there, but what he's doing right now, I feel like is still excellent work. He's showing that he's a very diverse. Um, what's the word? I mean, just like employee, like he can really like just do a lot of different variations of his job. I think that guy has job security for life because of how much he's able to
Oh,
maneuver around the
definitely.
company. Like, dude got it. Like, he will always have a job. He always will do well in wrestling or whatever he wants to do, honestly. So, it was just shocking. It was shocking to see it, but like, I don't take anything personal. Like, he could have hated. He could generally hate the question. I'm not gonna take it personal because I think it's all funny. It's all fun and jokes when it comes to that kind of stuff. I just appreciated being mentioned because I mean, like, that's content for me, but it's also just like a funny moment that a lot of people also found funny. So I love Biggie. I think he's great.
You talk about it's just cool to be mentioned and things like that, and maybe the negative connotations of the Waffle House question sometimes. How do you deal with negative comments though, Malcolm? Whether it be like, "Oh, you don't deserve this interview," or just like, "This
Yeah.
sucked." How do you deal with them sort of negative comments?
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes stuff gets to me. I mean, just like any other person. Like, I see some online, and maybe that's like what I think about for the next like 20 minutes. I'm like, why do they say that? Like, do they not understand? But I guess like how do I respond to negative stuff? It's really just if you choose to like me, like me. If you choose not to like me, don't like me. I mean, like, I at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do or say that's going to make you like me or dislike me because how you feel about me is how you feel about me. My goal is to never make anyone like me. I would like people to watch the content. That's like the goal. But I mean, for me, it's not about making you love or hate me. It's just I just want to ask what I find to be entertaining, and the people that connect with it, awesome. And I appreciate everyone for it. And the people that don't, that's okay. There's a lot of great content creators out there, and you can watch whoever you want to watch. There's a lot of people that I like. There's a few that I don't necessarily like watch on a regular basis, but I choose who I like, and I just watch them, and I consume what I want to watch. I think social media today is a lot about like interest media. It's like what you're interested in will pop up on your timeline. So if I show up there, you're interested in something I'm talking about. So hopefully you stick around. If you don't like it, okay, that's literally okay. That's fine by me.
Really, really cool, man. You brought up other creators there and things like that.
Yeah,
Everybody that I have on is like, Malcolm's a good guy. Malcolm, you get a lot of love on this
thank you.
show.
Thank you.
Get a little love, and it's like, so to you, who are the other creators that you're like, they're doing good work? Support them, guys.
For sure. Oh man, I would definitely leave people out, but I'm gonna say like a few, but there's like 50 I'm probably thinking. And if I get off this interview, just be like, dang, why didn't I say that person or that person? But the few that come to my head at this moment, um, just got to meet him this weekend and really like get to know him a little bit more. Alan Owens, he's on Instagram and stuff. He does great stuff. He's like to me, he strikes me as just like a real human being, someone that understands what he's doing content wise, but also what who he is as a person outside of this. So for me, that's a plus for me. I think he's a cool dude. Alex Queen of the Ring, she's fantastic. I love all of the content she does. Also, again, just great human being. That's someone I can go talk to about pretty much anything I ever want, and she always meets me with like great answers and just great advice and just whatever I need. So, Alex is awesome. Wheezy Blonde, awesome person. Can't say enough great things about her. Adam Bernard, I think he goes by This Is Goober on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Great dude. Yeah, love him. He does stuff with Scream right now. I don't know if they're still in the wrestling game necessarily, but like what he does and where he's and his come up so quickly, amazing guy. Who else? BDE, the whole Vibe guys, love them. Their content is very watchable. Like I want to watch YouTubers I actually can like watch and like
Mm.
they put out stuff that I want to sit down and watch. Oh man, there's so many other people. Con Man, awesome dude. Uh, Man, those are the only ones I'm gonna say right now. Van Vliet, gosh, the GOAT. Love Van Vliet, great guy. Yeah, can't say enough good things about those people, and there's like so many others I could probably say about as well that I'm just like blanking on right now, and I'll probably be like, why didn't I say them later?
That's really, really cool. You brought up Chris Van Vliet there,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you've seen, but since I had you on, I finally ticked him off the bucket list, man. I,
Oh, nice.
I finally got him off on the bucket
Yeah.
list and things like that. I know how important Chris has been to your career, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
So, why has Chris been such a mentor to you and things like that?
Uh, hmm. I would categorize Chris not necessarily as a mentor, but I would say just as like definitely inspiration for sure.
Okay.
I think the kind of content he puts out is like I said about Vibe, very watchable. Like if I turn on Chris Van Vliet, like I will probably watch the whole video. There's like a low chance I'm gonna click off of this. Everything that he puts out, I mean, is done very professionally. You don't hear any negativity about this. Like I feel like if you have a bad thing to say about Chris Van Vliet, it says something about you, not really about him. Because my interactions with him, great dude, remembers lots of details of conversations that people have with him, and dude's just great. I just appreciate seeing someone in the wrestling space that's not like backed by, and I don't, it's not a shot to anyone when I say this, but someone that's in the wrestling space that's doing these level of interviews that's not backed by fill in the blank corporation
Yeah.
or outlet or whatever. Like I like seeing like the independent person really win in this space because that's motivation for me. That also sets a road for something that I can walk down as well. That there is an opportunity for someone that wants to say, as purely independent as possible to do these kind of bigger interviews and get this kind of notoriety without having to be attached to blank outlet. That's not a shot at anyone that does that. I think everyone's great in the scene. Everyone's great, but to see people do it independent and like they reap the benefits and it's 100% theirs, I like that a lot. So Van Vliet's awesome.
Mm. Why is it you talked about earlier in this conversation, and I skipped over it without even realizing. I do apologize, man. But
Oh
like
yeah.
you skipped over, sorry. You talked about the importance of doing things in person and things like
Yeah.
that since the pandemic's lifted. Why is that so important to you and things like that?
It really just comes to more like building a relationship with these people. I mean, obviously, I don't expect to be like best friends with every wrestler in the business. But just having the opportunity to really like shake someone's hand and really just talk to them about whatever it is, going on in their career, maybe what's coming up, maybe what happened, a year prior or whatever's going on. I just like that in-person aspect. I feel like I'm more of a social person. Like I like being around people. I don't like just being on computer screens all day long, which like no hate for people that do, because I mean like
That
I
is
also don't mind doing it too.
because I
Hey,
can't
you
do
do you, bro. Like whatever is best for you in your life, that's fine by me. Like I've definitely like a few days ago, I did a few interviews back to back to back all on Zoom, and like Zoom makes it very easy to get a lot done. I just prefer in person because I like just having that conversation with them before and after, just talk about whatever, and then get into the interview and just build a relationship with these guys because then it helps build relationships with other wrestlers and whatnot. So that's just why I like in person. I also just like going out places and yeah.
Yeah, I understand that completely. I
Yeah.
heard it might have been your interview with Chris actually, when I was
Okay.
researching this, that he basically said, dude, you sleep at airports. You will do things that other people won't do to get that content. Why is that
Yeah.
so important to you and to sort of put the work in to outwork everyone, in the words of Christian Cage?
Hey, I appreciate you asking that. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll fly out to these indie shows or go places, and then rather than spending the extra money on hotels and stuff, I'd rather save that money because I can use that to get to somewhere else. So if that means I'll sleep in the airport, that means I'm sleep in my car that night, that's fine. For me, it's just it's something I'm comfortable doing, so I don't like feel like, oh, look at me out working everybody. It's just like I'm comfortable doing that because I know it will benefit me further down the line. So it's just something I'm just okay with doing. Um, yeah, I mean, it's really just about like I want to make sure that I have, just the ability to get to the next place to do the interviews. It's all starting to work out for me now a little bit, but like
A little bit,
it's
dude, you're
just
crushing it.
you feel me? But it's just about making sure that I can get to the next place and do as many interviews as I can, and just save the money. 'Cause I mean, like, sometimes hotels are expensive. Why
Mm.
spend $300 to sleep there for one night or $150 to sleep there for one night? Yeah, it's convenient, but like, why would I want to do that when I can save a little bit? That's just me though. Maybe I'm just a cheap guy. I don't know. That's
No,
just the hustler mentality in my head.
I
I don't
think
know.
it just shows the work you're willing to put in. But I've spoken to Cassidy Haynes at bodyslam.net about
Yeah.
sleeping in airports and stuff, and some of the, how do I put this, people you'll meet and the nasty people you might see and things of being stolen and things like that. So have you got any sort of bad airport stories?
Yeah. Bad, not really. Well, yeah, I do. So my first time doing WWE media, I was flying to Detroit for SummerSlam. This is the same SummerSlam of like Brock versus Cody, and on the flight there, a kid just stomps on my bag that I had sitting on the ground, and the parent just didn't care, and it completely shattered my camera. So I had to buy a whole new like $3,000 camera the minute I landed in Detroit because I had media interviews the next day, and it's the first time I'm ever doing WWE media. So I'm like bugging out. I'm like, brother, what the F? What is going to happen if I can't get a camera and I gotta pull up on my cell phone and do these interviews? I can't do it. I can't do it. So yeah, dropping that kind of money was wild. that right after SummerSlam, flying back to DC. What happened? I got stuck in Charlotte because of a snowstorm or some
Mm.
kind of like weather storm. And also someone stole my fedora hat that I usually wear in those like bigger interviews. So that was annoying. Um, besides that though, which is pretty bad. Nah, airports are kind of fun. I get to talk to people, learn people's stories. I like talking to people. So like I like the airport.
That's really, really cool. You mentioned hats there, man. Every
Yeah.
interview I see you in, you're wearing a hat and things like
Yeah.
that. Most interviews, you're wearing a hat. So,
Yeah.
what is, first of all, why do you love hats and what is your favorite style of hat?
I just like hats because it's just like clothes. It's just something you wear. And it's just cool. Favorite style, probably fedoras, because like I get to wear the fedoras in like those big WWE media interviews. Just looks cool. Who's the guy? I think his name is Scott Evans. He was on like ET News back in
Mm,
the day. I think he has like dreadlocks now, but he used to like wear fedoras and stuff during his interviews, and I always thought it was cool. That was a good look, so I just started to do the same thing.
that's really, really cool. You obviously, with everything you do, Malcolm, you're in school currently, you're doing
Yeah.
things like that. You're doing all these interviews, you're having a match, you had a match, which we'll talk about in just a second, if you
Yeah.
don't mind. But
Yeah.
how do you deal with burnout, my friend, as a creator? And how do you sort of prioritize Malcolm, is the word that I'll use.
I don't think I do. I think I just overwork. I think how I prevent burnout, I record a lot in bulk. That way, a lot of times I'm really just editing stuff. Like most of the stuff that I do, I still have interviews from like Vegas I still need to upload
It doesn't
from
look like you
Pennsylvania.
do. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I
you
upload like I do
camera
everything in bulk. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like because the rest of the time is really just editing, which editing's boring sometimes. But
editing
luckily, I have a
sucks.
few people that try to help me. It sucks, dude. But I have a few people that try to help me here and there with stuff that when I'm not being cheap, I like to try to pay people the right way to do it because they're just better at it than me. But yeah, record in bulk, and that way you don't have to worry about it later.
That's really, really cool. Um, we've been talking for about half an hour, Malcolm. So I have a self-indulgent question here
For sure.
before we talk about your match with AJ Francis. Where can I improve? What did you enjoy about this conversation? Why did you sort of agree to come back on and things like that?
Well, Tom, I just think you're a great dude, so I'm always gonna come on whenever you want me to. Yeah, I mean, improve wise. I don't have any ideas right now. I could think about it for a little bit and I'll send you something later. Um, yeah, I mean, the goal for every interviewer is just, watch everything back. Sometimes I have a problem watching back some of my stuff because I'm like, I don't want to hear myself talk. But yeah, just watch yourself back. If you feel like there's something that you missed, just make sure you don't miss it next time. Or, just yeah, I just watch everything back. That's just me. Watch everything back and just see what you can improve on yourself, you know? That's all I can think of like on the spot. I could probably like think of a better answer later and just like message you or something.
I understand. I'll get this message, guys. It's like, yeah, that sucked. Please don't air that.
Nah, you're good, bro. You're great.
What? Why did you sort of agree? Because you and I have this great relationship where it's like,
Yeah.
to peel the curtain back, guys, I sent Malcolm this really professional email I was really proud of. And he was like, why are you introducing yourself? I know you. We're cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean like I already know who you we've done like 4 interviews or something like that. You don't need to talk all professional to me. You DM me on Twitter and I will respond. Like if I don't see it, that's because I'm stupid. But like I will when I see it, I will respond to it and I will say yes always.
No, I understand, man. But I just like that story because I found that quite funny. It's just like, I'll always, even when I'm emailing a friend, it's like I will always email professional because I was
Yeah,
taught
that's fair.
emails are professional. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%, bro. I understand.
That's really, really cool. What would your sort of advice be for someone that wants to get in this game? We talked about that a little bit.
For sure. I think it's always about finding your niche and just really leaning into it. Um, Obviously I'm the Waffle House guy, so like find your niche and just lean into it. So for me, like as far as like my
Journalist.
right, for me it's like I I think what really works for me right now is when I interview wrestlers that I grew up watching because you can like tell that I'm like super interested in this because like as a kid I like love this person. Also like any members of like the Samoan dynasty or the bloodline, just because like I know a majority of my audience are people that like those wrestlers. So if it's like an interview with Zilla or Lance or fill in the blank Jay, Any new members that are coming up in the wrestling scene, there's a new guy named Damu Anawai. He is the nephew of Yokozuna. He's fantastic. I think he will be the next one to make his name known. Or like Journey File 2, Jacob's brother. I think he'll make his name known very soon. These guys are awesome, and I appreciate all the time that they give me. But for any interviewer, it's really just finding what you're interested in wrestling and just really lean into it. And I really like the aspect of like the family dynamic of the bloodline of
Mm.
Samoan dynasty. So I try to lean into that and talk to those guys. I think they're great people in general, which makes the interviews a lot easier. But also like they have so many interesting stories because a lot of people in their family are not just wrestlers, but well-known wrestlers in the
Yeah.
business. So there's always a cool dynamic that they can come from that a lot of people just can't. So if you're interested in tag team wrestling, interview tag teams. If you're interested in women's wrestling, interview like all the top women in wrestling right now, or Japanese wrestling, or Mexican wrestling, or luchadors, or whatever. Like, whatever you're really interested in. If it's like a company in particular, if you're an AW guy, interview those guys. TNA, interview those guys. New Japan, Stardom, whatever. Find your niche and just lean into it.
How did I was trying to find a segue there. How did your match with AJ come about then, man?
It was right after AJ had gotten released from WWE. That second go when Hit Row came back. He just asked me if I wanted to, and then told me to find a place that would host it. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much how it went. It was supposed to happen a lot earlier than it did. I believe it was originally supposed to be like one of his first matches back on
Mhm.
like the independent scene, but it's just life stuff happens. Also, he got really busy with TNA, which is a really good positive for him. I think
Mm.
AJ's an awesome dude, but I learned that I shouldn't be a wrestler. I don't really think the match was all that great. It was just an entertaining little bout, but it just shows that like AJ is a really diverse wrestler and he can work with like literally anyone and create magic. I think the dude's a great human being and also just like a top tier wrestler. And I feel like he's starting to get his flowers a little bit more, but he definitely deserves them a lot more than he gets them. Yeah, I just love AJ. I think he's awesome, dude. Like I can't say no good things about AJ. He let me stay at his house for like a week. We were like training for the match and whatnot, and just going over ideas and then doing an interview. I think it was his first ever interview at post being released from WWE.
Mm.
He's always willing to do an interview whenever I want him to. Like, dude's great. I really can't say enough good things about him. He's awesome.
How did well, you said like, oh, I shouldn't be a wrestler after that match? How did you know then that like wrestling wasn't for you? And why
Yeah.
didn't you want to pursue it as a career? Because like so many, I hate calling them YouTubers, but so many people in the wrestling media are starting to pursue wrestling,
Yeah.
whether it's BDE and the Vibe guys, Chris Danker, and things like
Yeah.
that. Why did you not want to go down that road?
Oh, it's because they're more talented than me, for sure. No, I love Chris. I love Brandon. I think they're awesome and they're doing some great stuff. They're having some fantastic matches, great opponents as well, which definitely helps. For me, I just really like interviewing. Like it's just something I'm really passionate about. It's something that my body can do, because I don't have to worry about getting hurt. It doesn't hurt the body to do interviews. That's probably like a big reason, but I think I just think so long term. I'm like, man, if I'm like I see how like some wrestlers move when they get older, and I'm like, I just don't want to be like that when I'm at that age. And I don't know. I mean, like it's just not it wrestling hurts. Like it sucks.
Yeah.
Like I have such a like I already respected wrestling a lot and I respected the performers, but taking the bumps and doing the work, like it's hard. And these guys are doing it for like 20 bucks a night and stuff. Like I don't think I would be able to do what I'm doing if I also was a wrestler. And I just am more passionate about doing this and just bringing entertaining content and hopefully bringing some positivity, entertainment to the wrestlers doing while doing the interviews. That's where I feel like I work best, not in the ring. I'm like a smiley guy too much, and I smile so much, and I don't think anyone would book me because they try to turn me heel. I'm just gonna smile too much.
No, I get it, yeah. Have you ruled out then? Are you saying never again, sort of thing?
I mean, I'm gonna give a boring answer. Never say never. If like someone wants me to do like a little funny spot or something, I'll do it. I'll take a move. You want to beat me up? Beat me up. I don't care. It's wrestling. It's not a real fight. I mean, it's a fight, but it's not like I don't know what's gonna happen fight. So like, yeah, I'll do it. Whatever. I don't care. I'll get beat up for fun. Um, yeah, I'll do it for sure. It's just I don't think I want to do it as a career. I have a really high respect for all these athletes that do this kind of stuff. That's why I love doing these interviews with them. And I try to make the interview serious in a way of like it highlights what they're talking about, highlights what they're doing and coming up with, and their just career overall. But also entertaining in the aspect that fans can just watch, or subscribers, followers, whatever, can just watch it and just be entertained as well. So, not for
That's,
me. I don't want to wrestle. No more bumps, please.
that's really, really cool, man, and a beautiful way to end this. But as we start wrapping this up, Malcolm, I'm curious to talk about success and your legacy and things like that. How do you define success, my friend? And do you view your career as a success, first of all?
I probably should. I should start doing that, Tom. I gotta work on it. I always view everything as like I'm still grinding. I don't feel like I'm top five yet. So until I feel like I'm top five,
Mount
I'm not
Rushmore for
gonna
me.
give myself the credit. Um, so until then, I won't say I'm successful. I'm happy. So that's the more important part. Um, I enjoy what I do. I think this is a fun space to be in. I just came from Fanatics Fest yesterday up in New York, and the amount of people that came up to me that were excited to see me, I'm like, wow, this is like a really cool thing happening. So I'm like, these are like real life people. It really shows any hate you see online. It's just online crap. Who cares? The stuff that you see in person, that's real. Those are like real people that like I would say impacted, but they're entertained by something I put out
Really?
there. And like I think that's like the coolest feeling in the world to me. So no, I don't feel like I'm successful yet, but I feel like I'm just working at it and I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there one of these days.
What do you think your legacy is as a creator, my friend?
I have no idea yet. I think I'm young enough that I could still switch up lanes completely if I wanted to. I think my legacy in general will just be like am I'm just a nice guy. Like which sounds like I'm not because I said that. But like I feel like the energy I just give off is just
Yeah.
positive, and I try just to make sure that people know that or any wrestler coming up that's I'm gonna do an interview with, I'm on their side. I want them to win. I win by helping, but like I want them to win. I want them to fulfill their career goals because they're in there doing the work, taking the bumps, getting hurt, getting paid $20, having to eat at Waffle House. Like they're doing the hard work. So I want to make sure that they know I'm on their side when I do these interviews. I'm not doing anything malicious. I don't want to ask them any kind of question that's going to get them in trouble. That's never my goal. It's never my intention. I just
Never
want people to
mind.
know that, like, I just want them to succeed in the business because, I mean, yes, I do benefit from that, but I like seeing people win. So I want everybody to just eat. So I hope my legacy is just people knowing that if they do an interview with me, it will help them even in the slightest. It like just make them look like a good person.
That's a beautiful way to end this, my friend. But as we do, we're going to do the classic Tom Talks Rubbish wrap up segment called
Oh.
Generic Wrestling Questions. So, my interviews before, when I was where I'll ask Malcolm his favorite match, favorite pay per view card, such as Double or Nothing 2019, for example, favorite wrestler's entrance theme, favorite tag team, and favorite wrestler of all time. Basically, the questions I assume you're asked, Malcolm, on social media
Yeah.
or at events or in comments. So now you'll have a place to be like, guys, I have answered this. Please go watch this. So, what's your favorite match of all time?
I love that. Favorite match of all time. It is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis at All In 2019.
What? Why does that one speak to you as a fan, my friend?
Oh wait, no, was it 2018? It was 2018, whatever the independent version All In was. I just like the story. I like the story of Cody just telling that uh road to world champion status after losing his father. This is like a lot closer to when his father did pass away, so there's a lot more like raw emotion. I'm not saying that there wasn't when it came to the WWE Championship win either. I just feel like WWE told the same story, but just with a lot more money behind it. But I really like the raw emotion that came from that original 2018 All In match. So that's my still my favorite match of all time.
So what you're saying is, and this is the punchline that I've just thought of, the WWE version is like the movie version, the NWA version is almost like the theater version, if you know what I mean.
Honestly, yes, I fully agree with that. Yes, that's a hot take, and I like it. Yes.
I really appreciate that, my friend. What about your favorite overall pay-per-view card?
Pay-per-view card. WrestleMania 26. I love
Why does
John
that?
Cena and Batista. I just like that WrestleMania. It's just awesome.
That's really, really cool. That also has my favorite WWE match of all time on there, Taker Michaels 2.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a fire match. I like it.
It was the first match and I'm talking about myself. I should not do this. I do apologize, man. It was the first match that I ever was like, Yeah, if somebody lose, this is a big match, if you know what
Yeah, no, high stakes. I mean, like it's either his streak or his career. Yeah, of course.
I mean. Definitely. What about your favorite wrestler's entrance theme?
Ooh, Solo Sikoa. He's taking it all.
Speaking of Solo, I can't believe it's taken us so long to bring him up.
Yeah.
Why was Solo your tribal chief?
Why isn't he everyone's tribal chief is the real question. I mean, like, okay, let's keep it real, right? How is Roman Reigns a real tribal chief when after he lost the title, he just disappeared? Like, bro was just MIA'd, leaving Solo by himself. Like, you don't just do that to your family because you down and out. You got to bring your family with you. You got to fight with your family. So he left, and so Solo took it over. Then he built his own family. He brought in new members, built them up, and then Roman tried to come back to reclaim something that he left behind. Like he's not a real tribal chief. I mean, he is technically because he won that match, but like it's Solo, brother. Like it's Solo. It's not Roman.
No, I get what you're saying. One thing I really like about that Raw on Netflix debut, you literally
Yeah,
live streamed that first match, and then when he lost, he was like, "Yeah, I'm out, guys. Bye."
yeah. It's the only match I wanted to watch.
I
I wanted to
really
watch the rest of the show.
I find that quite funny. What about your favorite tag team, Malcolm?
Ooh, favorite tag team. There's a lot I could pick from. Hmm. Here's an answer I don't think a lot of people say. I'm gonna say Jacob and Zilla. Their run on Independence out in GCW, I think was awesome. It was very short lived. They would have definitely been tag team champions, but Jacob had WWE, stuff to do. So I'll say Jacob and Zilla right now. But I think like overall tag team. Ooh, man, there's a lot to pick from. I really like Private Party. I'm gonna say Private Party right now.
As we record this, there's rumors that they're going to WWE, man. Do you
I
think
think they
that?
will. They should.
Do you
And I
think
have
that
an interview
happens? And
with
would you
them. I
like to
haven't
see them?
released yet.
And would you like to see them in WWE?
Yes, and yes, they deserve it. They are some great dudes as human beings, and I think they deserve everything. I also have an interview with them that I have not released yet. They are still AW Tag Team Champions, and yeah, so or no, they weren't the champions anymore. It's after they dropped the belts to Her Syndicate. I still got that in the vault, so whenever it happens, I'm dropping it right there.
That's really, really cool. What is the better, just before we do your favorite wrestler, my friend,
Yeah.
what is the better Private Party theme song? Is it the original one or is it Shots, Shots,
It's
Shots?
it's that one. It is that one for sure. Like that's it's a banger. And plus like the entrance. They also had the private security guard Cheesecake in AEW. He was out there too, and I love Cheesecake. So like yeah, nah, the shot. Yeah, that goes crazy.
That's really, really cool, my friend. As we wrap this up, Malcolm, the
Uh,
biggest generic question, in my opinion, who is your favorite overall wrestler of all time?
Okay, so usually I would just say Omos, right? Because like yeah, but to be real, it has to be John Cena. That is my guy. I love John Cena. Everything he does, perfect. I know people have thoughts on the heel turn, like it's not that good. Yeah, they're wrong. It's perfect. Everything John Cena does is perfect. I refuse to think anything negative about that man. He's awesome.
That's really, really cool. Just quickly, why
Uh,
did you gravitate to Omos so much, my friend?
he's so tall. Like, why wouldn't you? He's tall.
That's really, really cool. And then finally, Malcolm, as we wrap this up, I obviously want to say thank you for a great conversation. Thank you for coming back on and things like that. But the question I end this show on is I believe as YouTubers, podcasters, even just people with social media, we're all sort of going to live forever in a very, very weird way if you think about the world. So, what is one
God.
piece of content you're like, yeah, you guys can remember me for that? And then what is one that you're like, nah, I'm good. Don't remember me for
Um, You can forget the AJ match. That's okay. Not because AJ isn't great, just because like wrestling hurts. But
that.
besides that, something to remember me. I probably Jey Uso's Waffle House order. I feel like that's the one. And that's where it all. That's where the rise started. So Jey Uso's Waffle House order.
That's really, really cool. As we wrap this up, guys, obviously I want to say thank you to Malcolm for a great conversation. But please promote yourself. Where can the good people find you, your work, etc. If they're not already following you, which I'm sure they already are, because you're very good at this stuff.
Probably not. Probably no one follows me, brother. So probably follow me on YouTube, Muscle Man Malcolm. You can probably follow me on Instagram, Malcolm Muscle. Probably on TikTok, Malcolm Muscle. Probably on Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it, Malcolm Muscle. Facebook as well. Facebook's a big one. Malcolm Muscle over there as well. So follow me everywhere, guys, if you want to. You don't have to though, but if you want to, you can.
It's well worth doing, guys. One of the hardest working people in this space, but one of the nicest as well, and just someone that's always been very, very cool to me. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It's Tom Talks Rubbish on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter or X at Tom Talks Rubbish, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye now.
Thanks for watching this Tom Talks Rubbish conversation. Before you go, please make sure you leave a like on the video, share it around, and subscribe to Tom Talks Rubbish on YouTube, as well as follow Tom Talks Rubbish on Twitter/X.